I'm originally from Los Angeles.
I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
I left when I was 14 and I lived a little bit in Massachusetts and then back here in California and Monterey and then Santa Cruz, and then came here when I was 20 years old in 1993.
And I came to San Francisco in 1997. And I came out here to go to school, to go to college, and I've been here ever since.
I've had a knife in my pocket since I was 5, and then I started cooking with my parents, and they would let me prep vegetables, and the knives were always like a big focal point for me in the kitchen. Put a knife on a table, and like your attention goes to it, right? They demand a bit of recognition, and so to me, there always would seem to be this backstory, and I would always, love trying to I would just imagine stuff.
My very first job was working for my grandmother. She would have me come over to her house on Sunday mornings and prep vegetables for her. And then I kind of came up in the food service industry. So I think together we kind of pieced together a lot of our past and interests and experience to see the iteration of Bernal Cutlery that you see today.
Well, I was sharpening our kitchen knives. We were like figuring out bills, and we had our first child.
It was definitely like a big transition in our life at that time.
We just kind of thought like, well, let's put some flyers up in the neighborhood, and I could do this, and then I'd go pick up people's knives in the neighborhood and bring them home and sharpen them in the back of our apartment.
All of our colleagues would have their knives in a line for him to sharpen.
It kind of grew from there. It was a home-based thing for a number of years before we got our first brick and mortar in 2010 on Portland Street in Bernal Heights.
We have a very dedicated, very talented staff that we're really very excited to work with every day.
It was really crucial for me to be working with like chefs and butchers and line cooks and home cooks and people that were brand new to it, people that have been doing it for 40 years, and kind of get their feedback on my work and see how they kind of tweak stuff. And I would figure out like what worked. If somebody is like at the counter wants to know what knife is going to be the best one for some really specific kind of like butchery job, I'll go grab somebody that used to work as a butcher that is on the crew, and we'll pick their brain. There's a huge variety of cooks here. Also just a huge variety of people at different levels of intensity with how important their knives are to them, from people that definitely really a means to an end with their cooking.
One might say that Bernal Cutlery helped change knife culture in the Bay Area food world, but I would also say that Bernal Cutlery did it in collaboration with a whole generation of folks coming up in the food world. And now we're looking at, as we're coming into our 20th year, we're kind of looking around, and we're realizing that we have to kind of reintroduce ourselves to a whole nother generation of line cooks coming up.
Some people really know what they're after. Sometimes we can introduce people to new makers, new brands. Other people are going to be really curious about trying something new.
We import knives from all over the world, and that they're from areas that have been historically making knives for a long time. So there's like this kind of living history within the manufacturing process, within the knives themselves. So there is this kind of like interesting meeting point between the past and the present. When somebody comes in here, that they can feel that they can approach the counter, that we understand that this can be an intimidating place to come into.
We do sharpening classes, we do knife skills classes, books, cookware, cooking tools, our pantry.
We have a lot of fun. We also teach chicken butchery, and we also teach natto making. And those are all listed on the website.
And then sharpening supplies. It's really important to me to make sure that we're able to supply people with the tools they need to keep their knives up. So we're at 766 Valencia Street between 18th and 19th in the Mission District. We're open 11 to 6, and our website's bernalcutlery.com.
And at the Ferry Building, soon to be open different hours.